Welcome to Appalachian Apostle. I am your host, Joad, the Appalachian Apostle. And today we're going to be asking ourselves an important question. What is a real hip hop MC? Is it BET? Is it MTV? These are the kind of questions that KRS-One asked. And there's many answers to it. So today I'm going to be counting down my top 5 favorite MCs of all time. And this isn't an easy endeavor in any way, shape, or form. And it's been something that's been debated since I was going to say the beginning of time, but how about since the beginning of hip-hop? Now, before I continue any further, there's going to be some people in the peanut gallery going to say, Joad, what makes you an authority on hip-hop MCs? And this is a valid question. I am from South Central Waynesburg. Blairtown, to be specific, other side of the train tracks. Now, there isn't a lot of hip-hop legends that come out of Waynesburg. And I don't think there's been any hip-hop legends that came out of South Central Waynesburg. Ritz did come from Waynesburg. And he's on Tech Nine's label. So we do have some people here representing the hip-hop world. But me, I'm by far not an expert on that subject. But I am an expert on awesome and jabroniism, which are two sides of the same coin. Because on one side you have awesome, and on the other side you have jabronis. And being an expert on that matter makes me qualified to speak about awesomeness as it regards to anything. So today when I'm talking about hip-hop MCs, I'm talking about awesome people. And I am highly qualified to do so. But back to the controversy surrounding this particular endeavor. Since hip-hop's been around, there's been people battle rapping each other, and they've been trying to come up with saying who's the best MC of all time. And Cool Moe Dee actually went so far as to make a report card where he wrote down his grading system for who the best MCs were. Now, Cool Moe Dee, who y'all might not know, gave some questionable grades. For example, Chuck D didn't get an A+. The Beastie Boys got a C, but he gave himself an A, which is pretty awesome. So I got to thinking, how about Joad has an awesome report card? And I said, yeah, people taking Joad's awesome class. Some people would do really well in my awesome class. So for example, I'm going to put up who scored well in my awesome class. My awesome class results look like this. You can see, I did pretty well in my awesome class. Like Cool Moe Dee, who got an A in his own class, I got an A in my own class. If you see right here, when I go to Joad, I have an A+ in Flash, I got an A+ in Swagger, and I have a B in Skills. So that gave me an A overall. I can accept that, and there's some other people who've done pretty well in my awesome class. Tom Morello, for example, he got a B in Flash, but he got an A+ in Swagger and Skills, which gives him an A. And then there's Ric Flair. He just got an A+ in all categories, and he just aced my class. It was like he didn't even have to be there, because he wrote the curriculum for this stuff. And some other folks have struggled, like, you know, looking at my list here, like Kanye West, he got like a C+. Jason Aldean failed. Kim Kardashian got a D. She didn't do very well. Amy Schumer, she shouldn't have showed up. She just failed. Eddie Trunk, he's doing real well. He's got a B+ right now, because his skills are A, but I'm trying to work on his swagger and his flash. But what really gave him a better grade was speaking about the Appalachian Apostle on his show and quoting my deceptively metal observations. So that's my report card. But more importantly, we got to get back to the subject on hand, which is Joad counting down his top 5 favorite MCs. Because this is very different. My favorite MCs are very different than the best MCs out there. Favorite is somewhat subjective. So my list, we're going to start with number 555 of Joad's top MCs. And now for the Prime Minister, Sinister Pete Nice. Kick him in the grill, Pete. Yes, coming in at number 5 on Joad's favorite MCs is the Prime Minister, Pete Nice of 3rd Base. Now, before we get started on this one, someone's going to be like, why didn't you pick MC Search? Well, there's a reason. MC Search had that stupid haircut that made him look like his head was an eraser, and He didn't pull it off like Kid did. Kid is awesome. Kid and Play. Hola, hola, day. That's awesome. Roll with Kid and Play. Let's have a house party later. But now the Prime Minister Pete Nice, he come out on stage and he had a cane. He come swaggering with a cane. He had his cigar. Y'all got one of these scattered Hamlet bottle opener lighters? Lights on the first try every time. If you don't have one, you stop by the general store and get one. But the Prime Minister, Pete Nice. Now, Prime Minister Pete Nice has some great verses. He's like, sellouts run about like the measles. No cure, cause pop goes the weasel. Ba-na-na-na-na-na, pop goes the weasel, the weasel. He has some great ones. Words of wisdom woven like a spider. Bitch on my tip, I get busy and I ride her. That's amazing. That's like urban poetry at its finest right there. Gotta figure out a rhyme, stick it in my cranium. He's Pete Nice, elementary like uranium, flowing joints, blowing like a cool breeze. Pete Nice. I love Pete Nice. And if y'all don't know, Pete Nice has actually become a badass baseball historian. He owns part stake in the Dropkick Murphy Bar up there in Boston. And he's written books on baseball, and he's quite a trader, from what I understand, in authentic baseball goods, like baseball history. Like, you could buy a Babe Ruth's bat from him. Now, it's come to my attention that Pete Nice has gotten a little trouble with that. So some people say he was pushing off some of that baseball memorabilia that was fake and it wasn't real. And he's been sued by New York State and a bunch of people many times for perpetrating this fraud. Now, I know nothing about baseball history other than what I watch on TV, so I'm not an authority on the subject. I'm only an authority of who my top 5 favorite MCs are in jabroniism and awesomeness. But we already covered that. So number 5 is the Prime Minister Pete Nice of third base. So let's give him the gas face. Boom shaka, boom boom bang. I'm Shaggy Dope and it ain't no thing. Yes, my number 4 favorite MC of all time is one half of the mighty Insane Clown Posse. It is Shaggy Too Dope. He's a circus ninja Southwest voodoo wizard. He grabs your gizzard. Ah, chop, chop, chop. I got my Fago out because it's time for ICP and Gathering of the Juggalos and all that awesome things. This is terrible. I don't know how anybody drinks this. I don't know how anybody puts this stuff on their face. But what I do know is Shaggy Too Dope is awesome, and he almost, I gotta take my grill out. He almost did not make this esteemed list, but then he jumped up magically to number 4, all with one awesome stunt. His Shaggy Too Dope ran on the stage and he tried to drop kick Fred Durst. Now, there's so many awesome things about this. First, Fred Durst was dressed like he was somebody's dad on vacation in Florida, like taking his kids to the beach or something. He was on stage, and Shaggy Too Dope, he wasn't having none of it. He came out of nowhere and went with the drop kick. If you're going to attack somebody, the drop kick. For real. That's the most amazing attack you could possibly do. Now, he didn't land the drop kick, but he got an A+ for effort. And in the book of Adam, Joad, that catapulted him to number 4. Now, I heard about this awesome event when I was on my way to Sirius Radio. I was actually doing some talking on Sirius Radio with my main man, Jim Shear, and we had a great time. Jim Shear is awesome, and he and I used to talk about MCs all the time back in the day. And we even got to talk on Sirius Radio, and that was pretty awesome because I also got to meet Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Because Howard Stern's awesome too, just like Shaggy Too Dope. In fact, I love Sirius Radio so much, I got a new van with Sirius Radio in it. What's that? Yeah, well, so I could have just got a radio and I didn't have to get a whole new vehicle. Well, we got a whole new vehicle. Just jabroni. Fago. Whoop, whoop. Shaggy Too Dope. Number 4. Adam Joad's favorite MCs out there. Shaggy the Clown. Respect. My number 3 favorite hip hop MC. And now I'm getting serious here. Because for number 3, I've got the Blast Master, the teacher, the man behind Boogie Down Productions, the mastermind himself, KRS-One. Now KRS-One, for real, man, you can't stand where he stands, you can't walk where he walks. Watch out, he runs New York. Because from the South Bronx, the way this guy came up, this dude's lyrics are just boom. You know, when he's not dropping knowledge, he's even giving tips on safe sex, because he gives the J, the I, the M, the Y, y'all. No, I was getting ready to do the other way from Bell Biv DeVoe, but he actually had the Jimmy Hat song first. But Bell Biv DeVoe's awesome. Now, for real, KRS-One wrote the book on not being a jabroni. And this guy's huge, not just on stage and with the rhymes that he says. I mean, he's a big dude. I met KRS-One one time, and man, he makes me look small. Like, I'm 6'1", like, I don't know, a little under 200 pounds. But KRS-One, man, if I could pick a tag team partner in hip-hop, he would be one of them. And Shaggy 2 Dope would be the other. What a furious 3 we would be. We'd be out there dropping Bucktown elbows on people. We'd be dropping our philosophy on them, too. We'd be ready for the pin. No, we're not going to get the 3 count. We're going to give you, this is lesson number 2, our philosophy. Because the first lesson was poetry. You know it's me. Because that's what KRS collects. It's not about a salary. It's all about reality. All these things come from KRS-One. And there's a great group around him, like D-Nice, you know, he brought up, and so many things. And he's still out there killing it. One time I saw him in Florida, and I went and saw a show, and he had people getting up on stage, and he was asking people to kick a verse. Now, I was the only guy there in a cowboy hat. Because there's not a lot of cowboy hats at KRS-One shows. But I almost went on stage to kick a verse with him, but I didn't. I chickened out. But I should have, because that would have made this episode even more awesome than our number 3 favorite MC, according to Adam Joad, KRS-One of Boogie Down Productions. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Raw, metaphysically bold, never followed a code. Still dropped the load, never question what I am, God knows. Cause it's coming from the heart. What I got, better get some, get on up. Hustler of culture. Number 2 on Joad's favorite MC list is the legendary, the legend, Chuck D from Public Enemy. What can I say about how awesome Chuck D and Public Enemy are that hasn't been said before? Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to take a stab at it, because that's what I do here, and that's why y'all tune into this station to hear me take a stab at such awesome subjects. Now, this guy, man, this guy, Chuck D, when his voice comes across, it's fire. His lyrics cut like a razor, man. You know, they cut like my buck knife does, man. They cut they're sharp as my buck knife. His lyrics are like my buck knife. That's what Chuck D's lyrics are like. They're like my buck knife, man. You know, he's wickedly intelligent. He's articulate. He's earnest. There's just this sincerity that just so many people, and I don't care if you're a rock musician or if you're into hip-hop or whatever it is, or poetry even, the conviction behind one's words and understanding what they're talking about and believing what they're saying is really the key to what you put out there. And I think that Chuck D is just one of the people who has an absolute amazing grasp on those things. Like KRS-One, you know, I've had the privilege of meeting Chuck D a couple times. He even follows us on Twitter. So you know it's real. It's real. But no, for real, like I've exchanged some you know, emails with him and stuff, and the dude is just he's a very compelling individual. He's one of those people that, you know, maybe I don't believe in everything that they say, which if you believe in everything anybody says, you've got a problem. But what I do believe is I always respect his perspective of what he's saying and listen to it, because he's got that presence. And you know, I could just go through so many amazing lyrics by Chuck D, because I don't think he writes bad ones. And you know, the video, I've said it in so many interviews for Fight the Power, you know, when they're rolling around Brooklyn, you know, and he conjures up the image of, you know, from Huey P. Newton to like all these, you know, heroes from the from the African American community, which I am not qualified to speak on any behalf. However, you know, when you watch a video like that, you could just see the power and the strength in what he's saying. And, you know, that's why, you know, I'm ready to fight the powers that be every time I see that stuff. And, you know, I didn't get a chance to see him when he was out Prophets of Rage. And I would have really liked to see that. And I didn't get a chance. We didn't really intersect when we were on tour, so I couldn't go out and check it out. But, yeah, I would love to hop up on stage with Mr. Chuck and spit my hot fire, which would not be as awesome as his hot fire, because he is Chuck D, and he is the king. And that's why he's my number 2 favorite MC of all times. But he might be the greatest of all times. As far as I'm concerned, when you look up the dictionary and you're like, MC, Chuck D, Public Enemy, word. Now I know the anticipation's been killing you, because I'm down to my number 1 favorite MC. And you guys are probably thinking, well, where do you go if Chuck D's number 2? And that's a very good question, but I'll tell you where we go. We go to the microphone master, Rakim. Man, this guy, I don't know what to say to reflect how badass his rhymes and his flows are, because Rakim, he's just on another level. Don't sweat the technique, son. You can't. You know, I just saw him make a cameo on Luke Cage. KRS-One did too, and Method Man as well. Gary Clark Jr., who's ever booking the talent on Luke Cage? Yeah, you guys are killing it. But anyway, Rakim was up there, and I hadn't seen him in years, so I didn't really know who he was. I was just looking at this guy. I was like, he was an older dude up there, but he was kicking these verses. I'm like, this guy's like amazing. And then I looked it up, and it was Rakim. I was like, well, duh. Yeah, he is amazing, because he's the microphone master. He's the microphone fiend. After 12, he's worse than a gremlin. Feed him hip-hop and he starts trembling. He's at war a lot, like Anwar Sadat. He's, bam, just cutting fools with the fire that comes out of his mind. He's cutting so many people. I pull out my Highlander sword and I cut Joe Bronies. Cut him, because that's what his lyrics do. They cut him like swords. I just want to get my Highlander sword out. But what a better time to do it than when you're talking about the microphone master, Rakim. There's a reason he's paid in full. There's a reason that Eric B sued him to keep working with him. Because you want this man on your team. He'd be the first guy I tagged in if I was in a rap battle. Which I only ever been in a rap battle once, but I won because I declared myself champion. I just finished and dropped the mic and walked away. Don't even let him respond to you. You just leave it. Leave it hang. That's what Rakim would do. He don't even need to finish it up. Because his first hit was so devastating, he already done knocked you out with it. Rakim. And it's why he's number 1. He's going to be number 1 on my list. I think he's number 1 on Cool Moe Dee's list, too. So me and Cool Moe Dee agree on one thing. I don't agree on Cool Moe Dee's placement on his list, but I agree that Rakim is badass. And for that, we're in accord with the Appalachian Apostle. And that's a good place to be. Because when we're not in accord with the Appalachian Apostle, like some jabronis, boom, Bucktown Elbow might come out. Pow! Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to Appalachian Apostle. Adam Joad, the Appalachian Apostle. And you know that my shows now come out every Wednesday. So you're going to want to tune in, you're going to want to subscribe, you're going to want to make sure you catch that. I'm going to be in Nashville recording the new SH album next month, and we're going to be out on the road in June. So you're going to want to catch those things too. Make sure you stop by our general store, buy some awesome merch, tell a friend about us, and have a good time. And if you disagree with my list, you're probably dumb. Dumb. Get some.